all moving in different directions right now. Shouldn't they be tracking Bitcoin higher?
I'm going to give this a day to see what happens. The answer is, in theory, yes, they should be.
This one is down 1.5%. Bitcoin's up 2.5%.
I want to ask about particular trading patterns. I'm going to give it a day, and the answer is yes. The public wants to see that these things should be tracking reasonably close. Bitcoin futures and Bitcoin track reasonably close. It's not a perfect track, but they track reasonably well together. And if there was some weird divergences that happened, I think investors should ask questions about that.
Going to a different economy. And we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in an ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Cryptoteacher, and guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So like I told you, I definitely see a big pullback in the first quarter. Then the master magician set up a distraction so the Fed can cut rates, and then we move up. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we have the Master Magicians added again. We have Bitcoin and crypto pump, pull back off the spot Bitcoin ETF launching. And guys, remember, it was approved yesterday and then they launched today. So we know there had to be a big plan because they normally wait a few days before they actually launch. But we had CPI numbers come out. And of course, it's coming in hotter. Those who are part of my stock Patreon account, the premium version, I told you exactly what would happen. And that's the reason why they launched these spot Bitcoin ETFs the same day as the CPI numbers. Guys, these are the master magicians. You can't make this stuff up. And as we see inflation hotter, we saw yields pull back, which should be impossible. Yield rate should have went up because now the Fed can't lower rates just yet. They have to have a big enough crisis. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Now, getting into the actual indicators, we have yield rates, like I stated, are pulling back, which they should be skyrocketing up. We have the dollar up. We have volume in crypto up, of course, because we have the spot Bitcoin ETFs. And then we have Tether, USDC, and TUSD. And we have stablecoin firm Circle files for US IPO. So, guys, they tried again. We're going to sit back, get our popcorn, and let it play out. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo was at $679 billion yesterday. Make sure you're looking at the repo on a daily basis. And guys, because we had yield rates slightly move up, not as high as they were, we see the stock market pulling back, but we still see the Magnificent Seven benefiting, and we see small cap stocks taking a big hit again. Now we have the ECB offering a big chunk of cash to contractors who can build offline payment solutions for retail digital euro. And we know the central bank has already tested offline payments. They already have the technology behind the curtain. But the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF lets us know that we are on the correct timeline. Remember, regulation is going to come in the United States this year. And then we're going to flip the switch next year. The emerging markets are going to flip the switch this year. Some type of event that's going to happen where they get a chance to put their foot on the gas. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Now, guys, we don't have to worry about Grayscale anymore because now we have a spot Bitcoin ETF. And when we're looking at these spot Bitcoin ETFs, they are not trading with Bitcoin. We saw Bitcoin take off this morning, And then we saw BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF down. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on these spot Bitcoin ETFs, plus do the research and see how many of these ETFs allow us to see their actual holdings. And also the big question is when is options going to come in on these spot Bitcoin ETFs? We know it's going to happen. We know they're going to keep the casino wide open. Now we have HBAR and Algorand partner to develop decentralized wallet recovery system. And we know when we hear wallet recovery, there is always a backdoor. And remember the crypto teacher told you. Now guys, we have Goldman Sachs says Bitcoin ETF will bring in the institutional investors. And remember, Bitcoin and crypto is for the fourth industrial revolution. Never forget it. Money will definitely start to move over. Remember the goal. They want the robots, algorithms, and drones to take over the economy and the sheep to go inside the metaverse. Now, while Bitcoin was pumping, we saw altcoins pumping right along with it. And hopefully everybody learned from Kathy Woods. There's nothing wrong with taking a little profit. And now that the spot Bitcoin ETF has been approved, now everyone's saying Ethereum is next. And it's definitely next. But this Bitcoin spot ETF is going to take a lot of volatility out of Bitcoin once it settles down. Remember, all these ETFs are going to actually be holding Bitcoin. But remember, all these Bitcoin ETFs are not going to survive. We're only going to have about 2 or 3 left. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, we've seen this movie before. And that's the reason why Gary Gensler, of course, playing the Hegelian dialectic, acted like he didn't want to get it approved because he knows how this thing ends. We know Bitcoin and crypto is going to take a hit because we know the banking system is going to take a hit. We know we have thousands of cryptos, and that's for a reason. We saw the Fed use Bitcoin in the banking collapse the first time, and they're going to do it again. If the playbook works, why switch it? But again, we know the goal. We know the utility cryptos are going to make it through the storm the same way these magnificent sevens are going to make it through the storm. But they're going to take a hit. They keep hitting all-time highs, and that's how you know they're going to start pulling back. We know the retail investor is going to be left holding the bag. We heard it from Druckenmiller. We've heard it from BlackRock. We've heard it from Blackstone. 5 to 10 years of no growth in the United States. So like I stated, it's wonderful the spot Bitcoin ETF got approved. The same way the media is going to move on, the same way you need to move on with your strategy. You're witnessing the fall of America to Babylon along with the United States World Reserve currency because we know Bitcoin is a currency. And you're going to see the rise of China along with the BRICS nations with that digital yuan backed by that digital SDR. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows, when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate. Not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.